So the tendency that I see artists take is if they don't actually come from that lifestyle, it almost gets glorified.
Oh, you're
And
talking about like the studio gangsters?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You know, have I seen some things and been witness to some things? Yeah. Um, Not that I talk about in the music often, but again, because there are certain things that I haven't done, I'm not going to portray myself as that thing. I'm not
Gotcha.
going to say, hey, I was doing this and I was doing that. Because eventually, once you start getting into that kind of role, people will check you. You know what I mean?
Very quickly.
And they'll check you. And if you're not prepared to match that energy, it could go south very quickly.
Yeah. And I guess I was
Um,
coming from more of a listener
a
perspective.
listener, yeah.
Yeah. Appreciator as opposed to like someone saying,
But even then,
yes.
again, to properly resonate with people, there has to be some sense of truth behind it.
Okay.
Because I mean, unless you're just, also a great actor on top of a great musical act, if the authenticity is not there, the emotion won't be heard in the lyrics, it won't be heard in the vocals, it won't resonate as far as, the lyrical tone of the song, in my personal opinion.
Okay. In your
And,
what opinion?
in personal opinion.
Okay.
And, you do have people that can, mimic that emotion, and regardless of what it is, regardless if it was, a certain lifestyle or a type of relationship someone might not have ever actually experienced, or making money to a degree, they've never experienced. And, you listen and you listen, and yeah, you could be like, oh, this resonates. But then when you find out, at least for me, when I find out an artist that I used to resonate with never actually experienced it,
Mm,
it shatters that fourth wall for me.
got you.
And I'm like, okay, then you don't understand what I'm going through. Like, I'm glad that you were able to, put into words what I was feeling. But now I feel like, okay, as an artist, if I sat down with this person, they wouldn't understand.
You lied to me.
Pretty much. And so I try, you know, to the best of my ability to never do that in any of my music. And so, I've had people actually check me on that too, because I do have songs that talks about, a certain amount of, status or wealth or whatever the case is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always the first one to say, like, I don't got it like that. That's more so me manifesting the kind of life that I want and saying, like, hey, if this is the type of lifestyle you want to, maybe you can resonate with this. But I never try to portray, at least to the best of my ability, oh yeah, like I got it like that. Like, have I made certain amounts of money in the past? Yes. Have I taken heavy losses? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do I got it like that right now? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And I'm always the quickest to kind of set the record straight and be like, no, this was what I experienced at this point in time. It's not what I'm living now. It's, not to try to put other people down. It's just more so, look, this is back to what I'm manifesting, and to kind of put other people into that mindset of a, wake up, grind, get this money.
Yeah.
So certain things like that. But again,
Ooh.
for the most part, it's mainly just talking about how I grew up, my struggles with my mental health, with depression, anxiety, my struggles with certain substances that I had no business being involved with when I was
Gotcha.
younger, personal experiences I've gone through. Again, just to be that voice. And the one thing I do also try to do is I also try to generalize. So I'll bring up, verbiage that alludes to, what I was going through.
Mm-hmm.
But as an artist, I think is so important. Again, just from the aspect of being the voice for those people, or being able to resonate. That if I go into something that's too specific, it kind of lessens the audience that would be able to relate to it. Versus if I
Mm-hmm.
can just kind of generalize and say, hey, this is a wider branch of people that can listen to this and be positively affected by this.
And relate.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm,
So
I
there's a
love
lot
that.
of elements that go into the songwriting process.
Yeah,
And
no,
yeah,
no, I love that. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get
yeah.
into that. What's one of the names of one of the rappers that disappointed you?
Mm. Um, Tyga.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would listen to a lot of Tyga stuff. And again, I didn't come from that background, but, it's still cool to listen to. It's still cool to, vibe out. And then when I found out that he came from like a rich family, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, Okay, so you didn't do this. Back before the beef, Drake. When I found out he had ghostwriters, and when I found out that a lot of his, upbringing wasn't necessarily what he portrayed it to be. But I mean, and it's funny because out of those two artists, they wouldn't necessarily be the type of artists I would gravitate towards the most anyway.